If you had to guess how many hours a drawing like this would take, how many would you say? Hello and welcome. My name is Eliana Esquivel, or for those who know me through social media, I also go by Elesq. Today I will be recording my very first long-form process vlog. This is my first official video on the channel, so any likes, comments, suggestions, advice is all super appreciated. I have been sharing my art online for over a decade now.
Holy shit.
I've been sharing my art online for over a decade now. However, I'm very new to video format, so I'm hoping that with enough time and with enough input, hopefully I can get this thing to take off into the foreseeable future. To talk a little bit about what today's vlog's gonna be, I will be drawing 2 original characters as a submission for Emerald City Comic-Con's official convention zine of 2026. I will also be boothing for the very first time at ECCC this year. Early March, if you're in the Seattle area, come on, swing back. However, I really want to do a good job with this submission because Repop, who are the organizers of ECCC, treat their artists really well. Every artist I've talked to who has worked with them has nothing but very high praise. So I really want to do well. I really want them to like it, and I really want to support what they do for artists. I love their no AI policy, and it's a wonderful excuse to get to draw 2 of my favorite original characters at this very moment. But all of that aside, I don't want this video to take up too much more time. It's already kind of long. So if you're planning on sticking this out for the ride, or if you're just here to chill for a bit, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a blanket, grab your cat, do whatever festivities you do to chill out for the day and draw with me. Today I will be drawing on Procreate using my iPad. I usually draw traditionally whenever I can get away with it, but for this scene submission and the certain parameters within it, it just made more sense to go digital this time. For any technical people out there who might be watching, I will be drawing in US trade size 6 by 9 inches with 0.25 for bleed. This drawing will also be in CMYK color profile rather than the standard RGB that I'm used to. RGB is more common for digital drawings in my experience, but CMYK is a more limited color profile that can assist in larger scale printing, things like magazines, zines, flyers, that kind of stuff. So this will be a bit of an experiment, especially when it comes to the color. We'll see how it goes. Outside of those parameters, the theme for this year's zine is fables, which I'm really excited about since I already have 2 original characters based on Aesop's Tortoise and the Hare. As I'm laying out this undersketch, I'm remembering a time when sharing this phase of the drawing would have absolutely mortified me. There was something about sharing those first few strokes that almost made me feel exposed. Like somehow my lack of classical training or the bad habits I incurred by being self-taught would be put on full display. Not only that, but for me, undersketching is an objectively ugly phase. But I am an artiste. I can't be caught making ugly things. And if I am caught making ugly things, then am I even an artiste at all? Meh. At this point of my art journey, I've learned to love the mess and trust the process. And I wonder if that's because my hand has become surer, or if I've just figured out how to take myself a little less seriously. But in either case, the end result is having a lot more fun drawing, and when we have fun doing something, we naturally want to continue doing that thing. My recent art philosophy has become, the only way to fail is to not draw, and honestly, thinking that way has resulted in a lot more illustrations than I would have produced otherwise. I don't know how noticeable this is, but at this point I've probably redrawn Harriet's face about 8 or 9 times. For some reason, it's just a little bit of a struggle to capture her expression in the way I see it in my head. But I'm gonna leave it to rest for now and move on from the undersketch phase to the clean line arts. I'm not going for anything too insanely ambitious with this drawing. It's really just an optional drawing with a deadline, and the point is for me to have fun with it. So in terms of concept, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy or surreal like I sometimes will, but I do want to bring in elements of nostalgia and be like some retro technology. I want to give Harriet a Game Boy Advance for her to be playing, but in actuality, I want the Game Boy to be Tori's, and really it's Tori's game. I imagine she's playing something like Kirby's Dream Land, or maybe Link's Awakening, or one of those classic titles. And what Tori likes to do is really the grind aspect of the games. She likes to do the collectibles, the side quests, but maybe like the mini bosses or the bosses of the games are a bit overwhelming for her. She has slower reflexes, and it's not really what she games for. So when she gets to that point of the game, she hands it off to Harriet, who is far better at fast gameplay. And Harriet can kind of tag in and help get Tori unstuck from these bosses. And in this drawing, I'm imagining that while Harriet is helping and she is good at games, she's still kind of struggling. Maybe she's just getting bodied by Deathel or something. And so we have Tori off to the side, and she'll be holding a strategy guide and doing what she does best, which is the quiet research and the support. And maybe working together, the two of them can get past whatever roadblock it is and continue playing the game. I think this is kind of like a cool way to use retro technology to pull these two characters a little bit out of the fable realm and closer to the modern age, while also replacing that pre-existing notion of competition between the tortoise and the hare with something more akin to friendship and support. I'm struggling to conceptualize items or motifs that I think would play into the tortoise aspect of this. For Harriet, it's not going to be too bad just because she's already got the bunny hood. I'm going to give her a little tail, a fluffy tail. You know, her shoelaces are untied. I'm going to give her some band-aids, some scuffs. She's very, like, outward emoting and very, like, obvious, I think, in what her character is supposed to represent. Whereas Tori feels a little, like, almost so nuanced and so neutral that I don't know when people look at this, they're going to immediately, like, it's going to click that it's the tortoise and the hare. I'm going to look at a bunch of pictures of different tortoises and turtles for inspiration, just to look at the patterns, and maybe that'll help me out a little bit more. So I'm brainstorming what to do with Tori, and I decided that I kind of wanted to have one of those, like, keychain hand sanitizer holders. So kind of like, oh my god, like kind of tacky. But like, maybe, you know, because it's Christmas, tacky, right? But I figured, like, hand sanitizer, you know, it's a practical thing that I feel she would probably have, and it's an opportunity to, like, throw some turtle or tortoise imagery in there. While designing Tori's backpack, which is sort of like the representation of her shell, I decided to add this little diamond-shaped patch here, and I want to color it bluish green and let it be kind of like a little subtle nod to common side effects. The Peruvian tortoise Socrates. If you don't know what he looks like, here's a little picture of him. Yeah, and honestly, this show is so charming. It's such a source of inspiration. What better way to kind of throw some love in there than through this other tortoise-inspired character? And here we have Harriet with her little NRG drink and her backpack accessories. I think at this point, just to really hammer in the tortoise and the hare theme of this drawing, I'm going to give them little creature companions representing their characters from the fable. I'm gonna be honest, I mostly draw people, so drawing animals is a little out of my comfort zone, but that's kind of why I'm excited to try it. So we'll see how they turn out. Hopefully cute and not like doo-doo. After adding our little creature companions and a few more accessories, I think the line art is actually done. Tori's hand sanitizer, self-admittedly, does look a lot more like AirPod case or something. But hey, I'm cool with it, whatever gets the message across. And now, we get to move on to the next phase, which is going to be color. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm gonna blabber for a little bit because this is a really long segment of silence, and I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but I'm gonna talk anyways. I just wanted to say thank you so much to anyone who might be here watching this video. Starting a YouTube channel is something I've wanted to do, honestly, since like middle school, but I didn't really have the means until now. Having said that, I don't really have any grand plans or expectations for the channel other than to just like keep it super chill. I've been getting so stressed out with social media for the past years, but blogs and vlogging has always felt like this little like slumber party in the center of a circus. Okay, no, that does not make any sense at all. Scratch that. Give me time, I'll get better at this. What I'm trying to say is you being here really means the world to me, so thank you so much. If you have any suggestions or any advice or anything you like, didn't like, if you want to throw me a comment or do whatever, engage in any way, thank you. Okay, with all that fluff out of the way, let's just get back to the drawing, shall we? So, this is what I have for their flat colors thus far. I am so happy with them. They're so cute. But now I'm at a point where I need to figure out what to do with the background. If anyone is watching this because they've followed my art in the past, you probably know that I don't tend to do backgrounds. I like to do a lot of like floating liminal space and that kind of thing. So I want to maybe go in that direction. I'm also thinking about the fact that the theme here is fables. I almost want to research some of those like really beautiful like, chapter framing that like some of the Grimm fairy tale stories have. Think like SpongeBob, like duh, like that. Okay, so that's up next, and then we're done. So. bada bing, bada boom, we got ourselves a frame. I wanted to take this moment to really quickly talk about an Illustrator printmaker that I just stumbled into while researching for this frame. Her name's Margaret Ely Webb, and her work is so sick. She was big in like the 19s to the 1920s, doing a lot of Art Nouveau fairy tale illustrations. I definitely studied her marks and choices when I was going into approaching my frame. It helped a lot, and oh my gosh, her work is just so good. So I'm gonna link her Wikipedia page in the description of this video. Check her out, I don't know. But anyways, moving on to the color. I do think this is a good time to mention that upon entering the color phase for this piece, I did convert over to an RGB canvas. This is specifically because when I'm designing, it's a lot easier to just use that full range of colors that I'm so familiar with, and then by the end, converting that into CMYK and performing some color adjustments versus working straight out of the gate in CMYK and maybe not achieving the level of vibrancy that I could had I not reverse engineered it. I believe we are done. The only thing that I have left to do now at this point is to take my Procreate file, drop these layers into a new canvas that is CMYK. It will automatically convert this palette to CMYK, and then I can do some color correction, some fine tuning within that file to try and get it to look as much like the RGB version as possible. Let's get her done! So many iterations from the first one. Phase 1, doo-doo. Phase 2, slowly becoming less doo-doo. 3, 4, we got the clean lines. And then we got some details. And now we get some color. Still in RGB, still super vibrant. Oh, and there we go. Get the frame going in there. Playing with things, line weights, thickness, figuring out color, getting closer with the color, and even closer. And this is the RGB final. She pops. Down to CMYK. Now, there is something I still really, really love about the CMYK. It's more muted, of course, but it's like almost sleepier and a little more twilight, maybe? This was the original CMYK before color correction, and this was post color correction. You know? Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, look at that, you know? Like, look at, what is that? What are these? You know, what is this? This is, what is, oh. Well, anyways, here's the finished drawing, and I don't have a good transition for this part, so say hello and goodbye to Outro L in 3, 2. That was so loud. Well, folks, thanks for sticking with me through this whole process video. Vlog 1, check. vlog 2. You know what, actually? No, before we end the video there, I want to see exactly how many hours went into this little creation of ours. 1730 plus 1133. I can't do math. Shit. If you had to guess how many hours a drawing like this would take, how many would you say? Personally, I can never estimate because every drawing is different. Sometimes you get it in one sitting and other times you gotta muscle through it. This one I drew really slowly compared to how I normally draw, and I think it's because I was recording for the first time, long form. So the whole thing's really been an experiment. Secondly, I just really enjoyed drawing this one. I didn't really want it to end. Definitely I started procrastinating a little bit toward the end there. Just started adding stuff it didn't need or like polishing things that were already polished. But all in all, this is a 30-hour drawing. You tell me if you think it's worth it, you know? In any case, I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for spending a little TLC with me tonight. Have a nice one.